Making headlines is nothing new for CM Punk. And back in 2014, arguably the biggest headline of his career was when he walked out of the January 27, 2014 edition of Monday Night Raw, telling both Triple H and Vince McMahon that he was going home. And also, he would make headlines later on in the year for US Thanksgiving by releasing a podcast with Colt Cabana on the art of wrestling, detailing his entire departure, which again sparked a lot of controversy. Fast forward nearly 10 years later, CM Punk is back in WWE, but these 10 years could have been so much more, as Punk missed arguably the best years of his career. So, what would have happened in these 10 years? Let's find out some of it right now, because I am going to go all the way back to 2014, and I'm going to predict / fantasy book a little bit, what if CM Punk had stayed in WWE during 2014? Let's get at it. So the first year we have to look at is 2014, since it's the year that all of this controversy began. So here's the way it's going to go down. CM Punk still walks out the night after the 2014 Royal Rumble. However, due to injuries, WWE allows Punk time off to recuperate. In the meantime, an agreement is made to have Punk do interviews discussing his quote-unquote exit. That's right, this exit is going to be a work. Every few months, Punk does an interview about his frustrations within the company and specifically targets Triple H in the interviews. Throughout 2014, CM Punk is not seen in public except for a few interviews. So Punk's not going to make any appearances in WWE or in any other competition, because back then there is no way that Punk would have been allowed to have done Ring of Honor or New Japan or All Japan or Noah or any other equivalent. So instead, Punk is going to recover from his staph infection, recover from his knee injuries, potential back injuries, concussions, all of these injuries. Punk is going to have all of 2014 after the Royal Rumble to recuperate from these, which means he will not be appearing at WrestleMania 30. Everybody would be expecting him to appear at WrestleMania 30, except he didn't want to work with Triple H, so let's not do that right now. And plus, it was Daniel Bryan's moment, so you don't really want to spoil that. So CM Punk does not appear at WrestleMania 30 or the entirety of 2014 after the Royal Rumble. It seems that all hope for a return to the WWE is gone. So as mentioned earlier, CM Punk only does these interviews and he really disparages the company, but it is made an agreement between the two organizations that Punk would do these interviews to create controversy for an impending return that no one knows about. This is not reported to any dirt sheets, including the Wrestling Observer newsletter or any other equivalent like the PW Torch or the PW Insider. This is kept a huge secret. So now in 2015, it's the 2015 Royal Rumble, and it seems that all hope is gone. The Royal Rumble is going the way it was originally going, and then at number 30, we hear the Cult of Personality. Exactly 1 year, CM Punk was gone, and he returns to fend off the Authority to win the 2015 Royal Rumble match. It must also be noted that Daniel Bryan does not return in the Royal Rumble match. Following the pay-per-view, Punk speaks on Raw for the first time since last year. He tells the fans that he will face Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania 31, since he already should have main evented WrestleMania multiple years prior. He also doesn't shy away from Triple H and reminds him that he'll deal with him on his terms after he wins the WWE Championship and finally main events his first WrestleMania. The following week, CM Punk and Paul Heyman have an amazing segment. They talk about their past until a returning Daniel Bryan interrupts. Bryan says that he never lost the WWE title and is using his automatic rematch clause since he's now cleared to come back into the ring. CM Punk is absolutely pissed, and Triple H simply says, "What do you want me to do about it?" with a smirk on his face. So now this is going to keep going with Punk and Triple H. Since you figure now that Punk's going to get his WrestleMania main event, he would be okay to work with Triple H going forward. So the main event is set for WrestleMania 31. CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. And even though Triple H hates Daniel Bryan, he hates CM Punk more. So he allows Bryan to use his automatic rematch clause to get into the main event to make it a triple threat. Sound like a theme if you know what I mean? In the main event, Triple H makes his presence known and pedigrees Punk through the announce table, costing him the match. In the same match, The Undertaker returns to lay out Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins cashes in the Money in the Bank, pinning Bryan to capture the WWE title. Following WrestleMania, Punk loses it on the mic, going after the entire company and swearing blood on Triple H. They have to cut off the Raw broadcast because of Punk's rant. Punk is suspended, and when he's back, Triple H is nowhere to be found. As a result, Punk goes after the entire Authority. For Battleground, Punk manages to find a way to face Seth Rollins for the WWE title and is once again screwed by a returning Triple H. The show ends with Punk going all over the arena looking for Hunter. The next night, Punk, he ends up going to Raw, and he gets what he wants. He holds up the entire show. He issues a challenge to Triple H for SummerSlam in a no-holds-barred match. Originally, I would say this would be a Hell in a Cell match, but they already have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This is why I don't like gimmick pay-per-views. Stephanie McMahon accepts on her husband's behalf, but Punk stops her and says, "I have someone who's going to deal with you too." And out comes AJ Lee. So she doesn't fully retire, she just goes on a reduced schedule in this book. So SummerSlam 2015 has the following: CM Punk versus Triple H, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, Stephanie McMahon versus AJ Lee, and Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Seth and Triple H are also having a little bit of drama as well. Keep that noted. At SummerSlam, Seth barely squeaks by Cena, AJ beats Stephanie, and CM Punk manages to defeat Triple H despite interference from the entire Authority. For Night of Champions, Seth complains to Triple H because Punk is the next challenger. Triple H booked the match to test his protege, and he comes up short. Punk wins the title, then beats Seth at Hell in a Cell in a rematch. Following this, Rollins is betrayed by Triple H, and Punk successfully defends the WWE title against Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. And then he fends off a Money in the Bank cash-in by Sheamus. And then also, this must be noted, that the Sheamus cash-in is at TLC during a TLC match with Dean Ambrose. So that way Sheamus is a little bit protected and does not get pinned. At the 2016 Royal Rumble, Punk faces Brock Lesnar in a match that was originally supposed to happen at WrestleMania 31 the previous year. Lesnar has Punk down, and Heyman is about to hand Brock a chair. But, from out of nowhere, Goldberg returns to spear Lesnar and give him a jackhammer. And then the match is set for those two at WrestleMania 32 instead of Survivor Series. Because back in early 2016, there was already talks of Goldberg potentially returning for WrestleMania 32. So we just speed up the process. We tease it in late 2015, and we have Goldberg and Lesnar for Mania 32. Later that night in the Royal Rumble, a debuting AJ Styles wins the 2016 Rumble match. So the main event of WrestleMania 32 is set. CM Punk versus AJ Styles for the WWE title at the Showcase of the Immortals. The two trade verbal barbs, and they even go into how much they dislike each other from years past. But AJ beats Punk in the main event to win the WWE title, and they feud until John Cena returns to come back at Money in the Bank for AJ Styles. If you want another part 2, let me know, and I will keep booking CM Punk's run had he stayed past 2014. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.